Delicious.
Welcome back to the GPVWC Round 18 Supercup for the Supercup Construct season. Sorry about that, we should have all of our problems sorted now. We have just got 8 minutes of warm-up to go before we get racing for the final time this year. Alex Cooper was on pole position, he managed to get it ahead of Philip Cullen and Adam Rouse. Roy Schroeten's in 4th, Jason Muscat 5th, Terence Grech 6th, so a good outing there for Multiforce in their fight for 3rd in the standing. Jack Nicholson 7th with another good qualifying session from him. Brian Walker in 8th, Matt Cook 9th, and Team Talker 10th. Obviously, I think a couple of drivers have left, so I'm not sure if that's actually correct. But yeah, we've got 17 races for tonight, so good. Not the best turnout we've ever seen, but not the best. But then it is the end of the season, so we do expect them to win good. Yeah, having a push coming back into the server now, so we have 17 races. We've got a few swaps around the drivers there. I mean, we've got Jason Muscat in Multiforce today. Jack Nicholson is a regular driver, isn't he? Yeah, we've got no Scott Bennett, he's fractured his arm. So, Kernhaven got one driver today. William Trinidad isn't available for PD. Barton Bolgan is the only Tiger Express. Watford Hochford, the only in the division, leads only just joined them. And Woods Racing then got Pavel Hosky, so just joined recently. So, it's quite a depleted field. We've got a lot of drivers who've only got one car representing them. Do you think that's something that's expected for the end of the season, Will?
It's yes, it is a trend that happens at the end of the season. I mean, we've seen it before. We try to stop, but in the end, if teams have got nothing to fight for, it's very difficult to get them to turn up on all races with both drivers. But at the same time, it's an opportunity for some other drivers perhaps to find an opportunity to get appearance at this level that perhaps they couldn't have had. So it's on both ends. Could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Yeah, but I mean, a good thing for people like, say, Adam Rouse and Philip Cullen who are fighting for 3rd in the standings, and maybe people like Tina Toyka or Matt Kidd who get to score a point this season. Maybe even just clinging on to that final point. I mean, PB, like I said earlier, haven't actually scored a point yet, so maybe PB can finally snatch a point at the very, very death.
Sorry to interrupt you, but in case, let's look at Phil Cullen. He's probably feeling kind of grieved by the fact that a team like Torrent Motorsport is not taking part, because obviously at the high end of the points, the gap between a position and the other means more points between one position and the other, while at the lower end of the point scoring positions, it's only 1 point separating a driver for the other. So surely, being the driver in front in his battle with Adam Rouse, he would rather be fighting for a 6th and 7th rather than for a 2nd and 3rd, knowing that if he ends up behind Adam, well, his lead is gonna not be enough. And but there's nothing that you can do about it. These are the cards that each of the drivers are dealt, and they have to play them.
Yeah, I mean, for winning a race, you get 15 points. For 2nd place, you get 12, and then 3rd to 10. So yeah, if should Adam finish 2nd and Philip finish 3rd, I mean, that's sort of game over. Philip has come 4th in the standings, so I mean, it's important to try and obviously finish ahead anyway, but yeah, it's just hopeful that Phil anyway that he can keep ahead of Adam. But like you said, they're connected to him on the grid, so it's going to be a very, very good race for them throughout the entire race. We've got how many laps today? We've got 35 laps for you today here, so there's plenty of time for him to get the move done or just Phil to keep him ahead. So a long race today, obviously with laps around 144, maybe 143. So it's going to be a very long race, but they've got plenty of time to do it. We've got Terence Grech doing around pumping some race laps time in 146.1 there, so it's going to be a very, very interesting race. Like I said, with Roy Schroeten and Terence Grech also fighting out for a place, or 5th, I believe, in the standings. So it's going to be a very, very interesting race. There's battles all up and down the field, so... Yes, you go ahead.
No, sorry to interrupt again. I mean, I'm relishing each one of these battles. I just hope, because this is Singapore, and we've seen stuff happening on the first lap before, I just hope that all the main contenders for these battles make it through the first lap and skate, and they can go on and actually fight it out, rather than the battles being decided by accident.
Yeah, that's always the fear. I mean, we don't want a battle to be sort of about who doesn't crash the most. We don't want to sort of about pure racing. I mean, Roy Schroeter there, 1.28. That looks like a quick time actually from Roy. So whether he could be a contender for the win today, that's something to talk about. I mean, we'll talk about that now actually. Contender for the race victory. I mean, Alex Cooper. Many people will say he's got this sewn up, but like I said, it's quite a tricky track. I mean, if the walls are very, very close, it's like Monaco in some sense. It's just a night. It's a very small track with lots of corners, lots of 90-degree corners. If you just understeer into a wall and lose your front wing, that's what 30-40 seconds lost. So it's important to stay on track here. So who are you going to say can win the race today?
Well, as you were saying, it's very difficult to call a winner here. If you look at the performance throughout the season and also early in qualifying, you have to say Alex Cooper is the man. Is done to win it. He's done a few mistakes in the season, fair enough. Especially if you consider what happened to him in the last race in Suzuka. But he's clearly like the best on track tonight. But then again, Schroeter, he's a very talented young man. He's a good driver and. He could spring a surprise, but I still wouldn't look past Alex for this one.
Yep, Philip Cullen and Adam Rouse, the other two drivers in the top four. I mean, Philip Cullen had the chance to win the Italian Grand Prix and he made what's actually a very, very rare mistake from Phil. I've never seen him make a mistake before, but in Italy it cost him the win. So whether Phil can get to the front and maybe win this race, especially in the fight with Adam for third, it could be a pivotal factor. But I mean, Adam Rouse himself, he's not exactly slow. He could be a challenger for the win today. So with 1 minute left of warm up, we've only got 4 minutes left of time for that. Roy Schroeter was actually top with a 1.42.8. So maybe Roy has got the pace to win this. I mean, Alex Wingham is 1.33, so maybe Roy can qualify. And obviously with such good starts, he really, really could be one to watch for today.
Well, the start is gonna play a huge part in this one. It's not easy, not particularly easy to overtake on this track, and position gain or loss at the start could really have a great incidence on the final result of this race. So every reason to be paying huge attention at the start of this race, and happens.
Yeah, and also another thing to watch out for is cutting. I mean, this year we've got anti-cuts everywhere, and if you hit one of them head-on, it's been said to say you're driving an airplane rather than a car. So it's very vital not to hit those anti-cuts this year. I mean, last year a few drivers, including myself, who got disqualified for cutting. So this year, if they do cut, they will get taken out by an anti-cut. So it's nice to see that we have sorted that out for this season, but it is still possible to maybe cut in 1 or 2 places, turn 1 and the chicane in sector 2. So that's another thing we've got to look out for today. I mean, this year rather, we've actually had quite a good turnout. No one's actually been penalised for cutting, so good. All in their best behaviour, which is very, very good. Alex Cooper's actually just done 142.291, so that usurped Roy Schroeter at the top of his warm-up sheet. So maybe Alex can be the lead on the front today. We'll just have to wait and see. We are at the end of warm-up, so we will be going live racing in about 2-3 minutes time.
I believe the preparation for the race are nearly over, so we might be approaching the moment in which the formation lap starts.
Yeah, it's a very long formation lap here, so got to be about 2 or 3 minutes just to get around that. So plenty of time to not getting any Wargate tyres warmed up, especially, I mean, tyres of this series, you start out, 30 degrees. Moving to the race now. 35 laps of intense racing, hopefully ahead of us here at Marina Bay Street Circuit from Singapore. Drivers making their way to the grid now. Philip Cullen in his good slot early. Team of Toyota has actually done quite a good job there in 11th place, he's on the grid. Maybe PB can actually get a point. I think it's PB qualifying for this season actually. Good effort from team. Martin Bolgin, been trying all season long to get a point for Tiger Plus Motorsports. He's in 12th position, so good job from him as well. But all does make their way to the grid. Starting out to just pull away. So if we just go down the grid quickly, we've got Alex Cooper started from pole position for CSG Racing, with Philip Cullen on the front row alongside him in the Halcyon Racing Team car. Adam Rouse is on 3rd place for Hawkeye Racing with Roy Schroeder in 4th. Then come the 2 Multi-Force GP cars with Jason Muscat and Terence Gregg. Then we have Jack Nichols in 7th for Hawkeye Racing with Pavel Nosky in the Stadium Racing Woods Racing in 8th. Ryan Walker is in 9th place for Halcyon Racing Team with Kernal Sports' only driver today, Matt Click, in 10th. Team Toyota in 11th place for PB Racing is alongside Martin Bolgin in 12th. Morton Benton, the Green Shaft Racing, in 13th with Rocket Hoekstra in 14th for Envision. 15th is Andres Peskovs for the NRT Racing alongside Rick Scott in 16th for CSG. And the final race of today is the second Green Shaft Racing car of Chris Allen. It is coming down to probably the only overtaking opportunity in this race, turn, what must be 6, 7, I don't quite know. But Alex Cooper now coming down to the Singapore Sling, one of the hardest corners, in my opinion, on this track. And he's actually now coming to the chicane, which caused a lot of controversy this year and last year. It's one of the main places that people can cut, but as you saw, hopefully saw there, you saw a few anti-cuts there, and if you want to hit them, you will spin. So great to see that has been sorted this season. So just before we come up to sector 3, who do you think is going to be winning this race today then?
Stick to my early prediction, I would say it's Alex Cooper's night.
Well, I'm going to say I think Phil Cullen will do it, because I'd like to see Phil Cullen win a race. He's done so well this season. Very unlucky, as I said earlier, in Italy not to win. So if Phil can get a good start, who knows? I think he could actually pinch the win from Alex today, so I'm going to go for Philip Cullen.
Well, that would surely be a popular win. I mean, Philip is very loved in the paddock, and especially after what happened in Monza, everybody would be happy to see him win.
Yeah, Philip Cullen, Adam Rouse, Roy Schroeder, those three haven't actually won a race this season, so we could see 7 winners from 18 races this season. It's a very, very good turnout, and just shows how much talent we've actually got in this league. When there's 7 different people winning the race, would be astonishing, and 6 in itself is brilliant. So, it's up today, and like I said, we've got a few battles going up and down the field for driver standing as the drivers come to the grid slots now. Alex Cooper just warming up his tyres one more time. Philip Cullen also doing the same. Tyres hopefully all warmed up, brakes as well.
Is Terence Gregg starting from the pit lane?
Oh yep, Terence Gregg starting from the pit lane. So what's happened there is, since he's lost his rear wing somewhere on the track, not sure if it's hit him. I'll just go check the replay quickly. Yeah, it looks like Hawkeye hasn't got a front wing actually, so that must be Jack Nichols, so we'll have a look at that quickly. Anyway, the lights will be on very soon. There, off they go. Alex Cooper is in the lead in turn 1. Or cuts across Philip Cullen now. And Roy Schroeder up into 3rd place. Not quite, he can't quite get past Adam Rouse, but he's got some yellow flags in the field.
It's Martin Bolgin.
Got all his wings though, so he's managed to get through. Yeah, Jack Nichols and Terence Gregg starting from the pit lane.
Yeah, I was looking at the replay, and Bolgin was in a collision with Chris Allen. Neither of the two seemed to have any damage, but unfortunately, lots of time lost for the Tiger Express driver.
There's a huge change as we're coming through the field now. We've got Adam Rouse in 1st place with, not Adam Rouse, sorry, Alex Cooper in 1st place with Philip Cullen 2nd. Roy Schroeder moved up to 3rd place ahead of Adam Rouse in 4th. That will be Jason Muscat in 5th, with Ryan Walker for starting 2nd. Team Toyota in 7th place. Well, that's going to start continuing there. 8th place is Hamilton, also 9th place, 10th place, another good start there, and 10th place is trying to occupy by so a good start from Stephen Friday with making up amends from the earlier accident of Brett and Nichols. So that's really, I think that's really going to hurt Brett in the battle for third, 5th place in the standings. So Roy just needs to keep it on the road, make sure he doesn't make any silly mistakes, and he's got this thing set up.
Yeah, we're just looking at some of the battles that are developing throughout the field. Cars pretty spaced evenly between them. Perhaps at this very moment, the only battle we've got on our hands is between Greg and Nichols, who both started from the pit lane. Very, very close. Nichols had a few looks on the inside of the Maltese driver, but as we mentioned before, it's not an easy track to overtake, is it, Tom?
No, I mean, there's only one real breaking opportunity, and that's at the end of the long straight, going into sector 2, so maybe Nichols just needs to keep calm and make sure he can get past Greg, get a good run out in the corner before him. Can't get me looking at the right on the back of him going into the final corner, drops off a little bit, so that's about 16th place. This seems to be in the battle on field at the moment, but they're good already, 40 seconds off the lead, so it really has ruined their races, which is a huge shame for them. Yeah, Alex Cooper's already got a 1.4 second lead, so he really is starting to run away already. But Schroeder's not that far ahead of Adam Ralph, so it could be a nice little battle brewing there for 3rd place on the final spot. Cody Jason Muscat all on his own as well, but Brian Walker is not too far behind. But Tina Toyka's thing is he's got in 7th, he's actually got a little bit of a gap off him. Old Pavel Ross is actually spun going into the chicane there, so that's actually his team is worried a bit. Pavel down to 13th place. Good racing, so a bit of a shame there for Pavel.
And I can tell you that in the meanwhile, Nichols is past Greg, so he's already pulled quite a bit of a gap, so he clearly has the fastest car at the moment.
Yeah, we've got Rick Scott and Matt Cliff in a battle for 11th or 10th place rather, so Rick Scott, yeah, we could be past Matt Cliff quite soon. Obviously, Matt Cliff the only Colonel today, CSG, Rick Scott. Obviously the sister car in the lead at the moment, so if he can get past Matt, then they've done a point to finish the CSG, which would be quite a good way to finish the season for them. And then Rick's actually not got his teammate, no, it's Morgan Remington and GSR not too far behind, so nice little battle brewing up there for 10th place.
Both Matt Cliff and Rick Scott currently haven't got any points in the standing, so an extra little bit of motivation for them, chasing the last point as it is at the moment.
Yep, Ralph has got a run and Roy Schroeder for 3rd place going into the one and only, but he can't quite make it, just too far back. Roy goes over the bumps quite heavy there actually, but Adam can't quite make a move, and Adam goes a bit deep going into that corner actually. So it was giving Roy a bit of respite for that anywhere at least.
And obviously finishing behind of Roy Schroeder at the start was the worst possible outcome for him.
Roy went over those Singapore sling bumps very heavily. It was well to hold on to that there. Very, very close to spinning that. So good save there from Roy. Nichols. Oh, Nichols looked very twitchy coming out of the first corner of sector 2 there. But just managed to hold on to that there. Martin Bolgan was actually behind Terence Cliff and Greg Nichols, and had to stop. So it was a huge shame for Martin. Morton Venison right behind Rick Scott now. Rick's made a mistake coming out of the corner that leads into sector 3 and managed to lose a bit of time, but looks like he's managed to hold it off Morton for this lap at least. Yeah, the field is quite spaced out. There's only a few battles going on up and down the field.
And quite a sizable gap that Alex Cooper has put on Philip Cullen already. It's more than 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, we've got about a 3-second gap already after only 2 or 3 laps, I think. So Alex really doing a good job of pulling away, getting the gap and being able to manage it. And Philip Cullen's already 3 seconds ahead of Roy Schroeder as well. So Philip's done a good job of getting away from. And maybe Roy's actually holding Adam up a little bit. So Roy really doing Philip some favours here in battle for 3rd place.
I think it's pretty evident Adam Rouse is losing so much time behind Scruton, and this is hurting his fight for third place in the standings really badly.
He's been suffering quite a lot from Roy maybe being a third one, so yeah, I mean Roy himself has got about to fight for, but he hasn't got to push as hard what the Terrets down in 16th place, so Roy's just wasted the personal pride now. He's just got to try and get a podium, maybe a good race for the season, get some teams looking for him, which we can't really continue sadly because of other commitments. They maybe for a Supercup team such as maybe CSG or Synergetic, maybe if they're not in the Super League next season. There's going to be situations like personal pride now, as I say, so it's doing a good job holding them off though, so, and they've got a nice 5-second gap over Jason Muscat, so it's going to be hopefully a race on battle between these two for the final podium position.
And sadly for Rouse, he seems to be able to get really close to his rival, or he attempts at turn 1, oh, he makes a stick, so Adam Rouse, very, very neat overtaking, and also very responsible on Roy's behalf not to do anything that could have resulted in a very expensive bill from the mechanic. But yeah, you can see the gap that Adam is able to put on Roy straight away after the overtaking. So clearly Adam was losing a lot of time behind Synergetic, and now he's got a pretty big job in his hands to close the more than 4 seconds that divide him from Phil Cullen.
Yeah, he's got a 4-second gap to fail ahead of him, so yeah, good job there from Adam to get ahead, and good job from Roy as well not to take him out. So it's really, look, Adam's already made a 1-second gap on Roy, so Roy did look around quite a bit. Now he's just got a job to try and catch Phil back up and try and overtake him on the track. I mean, maybe they're on different strategies, we don't quite know yet what's going to happen, play out that way, and Alex Cooper's got a nice 3-second lead over Phil Cullen at the moment. He seems to be sticking to that at the moment, so all Alex needs to do is just keep calm and keep it out of the wall. He's got this secure career win. Philip Cullen's main objective today is maybe not to win, it's just to keep ahead of Adam. So, but like I said, as we were talking about earlier, should Adam get ahead of Philip at some point in this race, Philip will lose out on third position because of the way the points play out. So, Phil's just got to keep his head down, not making mistakes, and he's got a 4.5 second gap on Adam at the moment. So he's putting out a bit of time. So, he needs to keep calm and not make any silly mistakes. Sure. Fast lap of the race so far, 1:42.5 from Alex Cooper. So he is definitely 2 tenths faster than everyone else around. The team of Toykas actually catching Ryan Walker up quite quickly in 6th place, so we could see a battle here between Ryan Walker and Team Toykas. He's actually dragging the head through him as well, so we could have a 3-car battle developing for 6th place, let's see. Teams like Tina and Walker like a quick on Ryan, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do, these two.
Another battle that's brewing up nicely is the one that's about to start between Rick Scott in 10th, Matt Clip in 11th, and Morten Vennersen in 12th. The three are very, very close by, and soon we may be witnessing a pretty good battle between these three.
Yep, I mean, Matt was ahead earlier, but it seems like Rick Scott slipped by at some point, but he isn't exactly getting away, so Matt and Morton have definitely got a chance to sniff at the final point there. And Andres is only 2 seconds ahead, so he's not exactly unreachable, so it'll be very interesting to see what those three can do. I mean, we've got another 3 cars with battle for 6 is starting to pop up as well. Teamy's actually within half a second of Ryan now, so maybe Ryan's just struggling a little bit on the strategy, and the cars are going off a bit quicker than expected. There's only 2 seconds separating those three, so whether or not Timu and Watford can pull Ryan in will be good one to watch for this race. So with 6 laps over at the moment, we've got Alex Cooper in the lead by a good 3.5 seconds over Philip Cullen. He's doing a good job holding Adam Ralph off for third place in the driver standings, and Roy Schroten has actually dropped 3 seconds on Ralph already, so maybe Roy's in a different strategy. He's still got to wait and see, we've got plenty of time to find out. Jason Muscat in 5th Multi-Force, who's done a good job there. Ryan Walker starting from under pressure from Team Talking up the home for 6th, 7th and 8th places respectively. Then behind we've got Peskov all in the running 9th, but Rick Scott's actually catching up quite quickly and doing the second time now. Matt Gibbon 11th and Morgan Benson in 12th has actually dropped off it a bit, so Rick is starting to pull away slowly. Alan Ross down in 13th place, 4.5 seconds, and he seems to be on the ground at the moment. Chris Allen in 14th with GSR, and Jack Nichols in 15th after an unfortunate accident information up with Terence Craig in 16th, and Martin Bolton rounds out with current drivers at the moment, and no one's actually a target. It's a good job from the drivers not to crash out and have any incidents, so hopefully we're for 100% finish rate to be the first this season, I think. And Team Talker seems to have made a mistake and down to 8th place.
And as things stand at the moment, Malta Force, because of what's happened to Terence Craig, will lose the position in the standings. The third position, because that will go to Halcyon. Halcyon at the moment is scoring 17 points against Malta Force's 6 as things stand at the moment. And with just 5 points between the two, well, that would be enough for Halcyon to frog over Maltese team for third position standings.
Looking good for Halcyon at the moment. Yet Team Talkie just spam going into the left-hander in the first corner, sector 2, so Team is now in 8th place, and he's to go up 4 or 5 seconds gap now to Watkin Ryan, so if he can just keep it calm and keep it on the road, maybe he can catch him back up. He did seem to be good drivers there, so it's not all over for Team U. He's got a nice calm by the look of it, so he seems to be in control. Hopefully there's some commentators first. Andre, who's got Rick Scott quite close to him now, it's only 4 tenths between them as we go down to the Spalloni's they've taken point. This is the 9th position. It's not just too far back to make anything work there, but it does seem to be the quicker of these two drivers. Rick Scott had a pretty, not the best qualifying he's ever had, I think it's safe to say, but he's doing a good job in holding Andres back in, and he's looking for maybe 2 points rather than the solitary one he'd get for 10th place.
And we did mention before the newly crowned champions, Toro Motorsports. They're obviously not here tonight, but they did tweet us on our official Twitter channel at GPVWC. Toro Motorsport is saying, good luck to all the Supercup drivers about to take the green flag. We decided to give the random miss and do extra preparation for next season. Obviously, big question mark over next season for Toro Motorsport. A team of the caliber surely would look great in the Super League, but at the same time, there's the temptation of defending their championships title here in the Supercup. So, I guess we'll hear a lot about this topic in the next few weeks, obviously, leading up to the GPVWC day where the grids for Super League and Supercup will be announced.
Yep, Simon Miller is posted on the forum not so long ago about partner sports ambitions. Obviously, a team that we've gathered, like we said, should be in the Super League. They've got some very talented drivers under their wing. So, whether or not they'll be in the Super Cup or Super League, let's see if we're waiting to see. I think Simon said in the post, it's hard to see them two in the car. So, maybe they will stay in the Super Cup. Maybe they'll just get some drivers and maybe come into the Super League 2014. So, we've got lot longer, as I said. We've got the GPVWC meeting on the 25th of November in Solihull, so if you'd like to join us, if any of you want to think of joining the league, just sign up for GPVWC.com, come to the forum, sign up and say hello. I mean, maybe you can be the next Alex Cooper, Pet Cassar, Lucas Euler, Dave Carl-Smith, see what you can do.
And now I think we want to go back on the battle that's brewing up for position 9, because Rick Scott managed to put a bit of gap between him and his Pursuers, has lost all the gap, and now he's got Pestovs right in his diffuser, followed by Clip and Mention.
Oh yeah, they're all within a second baseball drive, all very close to each other, so nice battle brewing up here for 9th place. Obviously, I think Clip and Scott have yet to score, so it'd be brilliant for those two to get their name onto the point scoring board. I'm not saying over 32 people score points this season, so I think it's an amazing achievement for the league and shows how many people really do have the talent to score points and do well. Also, in the battle for 6, Rock Ocean is now within a second of Ryan Walker, so might have him in his sights very soon. Everyone else seems to be quite spaced out. I mean, there's a 6-second gap between Cullen and Rouse, and then a 4-second gap between Cooper and Cullen, so everyone seems to be spaced out. I've only got these 2 major battles on track for 6th and 7th, and then down to 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and Pestov's is just about in the slipstream of Scott, but he hasn't got quite enough gap to make it. Does break quite a bit later than there, dude. Going for it, and we've got a battle for 11th place in Cliff and Venison. Venison does get past a good move there from the GSR driver to get him up to 11th place.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Tom. We have the first retirement of the evening. Chris Allen for Green Stripes. I've just seen him pull in the pit lane with no front wing, and he's chosen to retire the car.
Yeah, that's a huge shame to have got off at the time after actually 9 laps. Quite impressive.
Is actually the retirement is a result of a collision. He had spun and he was collected by Jack Nichols. I don't think Nichols had any visible damage. Still, his car is probably gonna feel a bit funny for the next few laps. And Chris Allen is now retired.
Yeah, so Jack Nichols hasn't got any wings lost or anything, so he seems to have got away with it quite lightly. Yeah, Martin Bolton will be a lap down, which is a shame to look at Target Express will be scoring many points today. So 10 laps gone, that was people just lead by with 5 seconds. And Adam Rouse can't quite hold on to Phil Cullen, so maybe Cullen has got this under control for the moment. But then, like I said, we've still got a few laps before the pit stop is going to play, so still time to find out who's on what strategy. Maybe Adam and Roy not on one stop, maybe they are on 0 stop, so it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out for the rest of the race. Walker Hochschild right behind Ryan Walker now is within half a second, so that battle for 6 will surely be hotting up very soon. Rick Scott, Andres Pestov, Matt Clip and Walker Venison still very close, but there seems to be a bit of a gap between the 4 now, so...
Oh, and...
spun! Rick Scott spun going into the right-hander. Looks like he just, the rear just snapped away from him there. See if we can get a replay of that. Now he's got down to 12th position, so he's gone from 9th to 12th. Very unfortunate. Yeah, but he's just locked the front, he's just locked the rear brakes going into the corner and just spun off completely. He lost 3 places as a result, so now Andrej Pestovs and Walker Venison fill up the last 2 places, but Matt Clip not very far behind him at all, so what was a 4-car battle is now turned into a 3-car battle for the time being.
Looking on paper, Pestovs should be able, now that he's released from Rick Scott, he should be able to put some distance between him and the following cars, but at the same time we don't know how much being behind a rival for so long may have damaged his tyres.
Yeah, another battle now hotting up 6th place. Ryan Walker and Walker Hochschild. Walker is definitely in the slipstream of Ryan Walker now, and down to the possible overtaking spot. He's come out, he's pulled out of the slipstream, he's up the inside, brakes later than Ryan and takes the place. So good move there from Walker Hochschild to move up to 6th place ahead of Ryan Walker, who's now dropped down to 7th. Matt Clip's got his pit light on, so maybe Matt Clip will be in this lap. Maybe he's doing a 2-stopper, so Matt Clip on maybe for his first pit stop of the afternoon, which I think will be the first scheduled pit stop of the day. So interesting, maybe a 2-stop strategy. Maybe that'll work, maybe not. And Pavel Murphy's got his pit light on as well. So a few drivers have got maybe going for a 2-stop strategy, or maybe they're just picking maybe an early 1-stop and a long stint for the final stint. So still a long time to find out. Product's gone.
I was mentioning before of Pestov's putting some distance from his pursuers, and obviously that did not happen. Morten Andersen now is very close to the Latvian driver, and he may be putting a move pretty soon.
Yep, actually Pestov has got his pit light on, so maybe Pestov will be coming in this lap as well. Fastest lap of the race actually just gone to Philip Cullen, who's just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:42.2, so good lap there from Cullen, maybe starting to pull out his people back in.
Seems to be pieces of bodywork on the track.
Cooper and Bolden, not good, sorry. Rob the Hope is actually in the pit, so but he does seem to have all of the pieces of his car.
Yeah,
so.
he's missing a front wing though as he gets in the pits.
Ah, so maybe Rob the Hope has made a mistake, which is a shame because all the moves he made to get up to 6th place, he just thrown it away, which is a huge shame. So Rob the Hope should never thrown away 6th place with a yellow flag. Comes out of pit lane, but I think that's just. Oh, Pestov's. Pestov's lagging, looks like Pestov's lagging out. It's halfway in the sea for me, so maybe not the best of days, but Pestov's is dying.
Yeah, it looks like some connection problem for the Latvian.
Yep, there we go. That's a huge shame. Pestov's doing a brilliant job up there in 9th place, but unfortunately his connection didn't want him to finish this race, so Philip Cullen did have his pit light on, but it's not on anymore. He doesn't have a lap goes round. And Alex Peter gets up the fastest lap, 1:42.1. 6.5. We have retaken the fastest lap from Philip Cullen. And Roy Schroetenwasser is closing in Adam Garth quite slowly but surely. He is slowly bringing that gap back down. They've just done 1:42.8 as their fastest lap, so they do seem to be evenly matched, these two. I mean, the main benefactor from what we hoped was accident is actually Ryan Walker and Team Toyota now from the 7th place team who's got his pit light on, so maybe he will be in this lap. But Walker Benetton's 5 seconds back to me, so maybe Morton could sniff a few more points. The team doesn't come in this time, so it seems like the pit light's coming on, maybe the pit strategy is really coming into play very soon. But Scott in 10th place now, so where his earlier accident put him down out of points, it seems like he's gained from the 2 incidents ahead of him. Zach Nichols also in 11th place, so maybe Hawkeye they could snatch a point on the very death here. But it seems a little spaced out now that the incidents taking place, taking their toll on the field. I mean, the smallest gap I think between Matt Kipp and Rick Scott for 9th place. And Rick's about half a second behind in the slipstream, but can't quite make anything work. He's too far back, definitely, to make a lunge down there. Oh, but Matt's made a bit of a mistake getting into the right hander there. Allowed Rick right up his diffuser. Looks like Matt may be struggling with the tyres a little bit. And the simple swing from the hardest corner. Yet Matt's taking his bump very heavily, but so is Rick, so not much time lost from that there. Into this tricky little chicane into the hairpin. Matt's made a bit more time. Oh, but Matt's made a second move, so it's Rick! They both made a mistake, he's into a pirouette and both pirouetted off there. Rick just locked his rear brakes. He's struggling with this rear brakes, maybe he's got some rear damage.
I would possibly think that, you know, considering also that we're going towards the mid-race moment, people are starting to really struggle with the tires. I mean, considering the number of mistakes and minor errors as well that we're starting to see.
Yeah, I mean that's the second mistake we've seen from Rick Scott. He just seems to be locking the rear tyres up and not giving up enough grip out, and they just can't turn into the corner. Rick's rear just turns out and says, "No, I'm not doing it." And he's lost a lot of time. He could have overtaken Matt, and Matt seemed to make a mistake getting into the corner, but didn't quite make anything stick of it.
Yeah, none of them is pitting at the moment, so they keep on racing on those tyres.
Well, I think one-stop strategy is definitely the strategy to go for today. Roy Schroeten's pit light is on and he hasn't turned it off yet, so whether Roy will be coming into that really we'll see. I mean, the best thing to do in this league, I think, in my opinion, is to stay out as long as you can to get the quicker times. I mean, it's not like Super League where if you go onto new tyres you will gain out of it. If you stay on older tyres with less fuel in Supercup, you will be a slightly faster than if you pitted. So lots of interesting things to do. I mean, Rouse has got his pit light on as well before he turns it off as you know. And then Rouse comes into the final 2 points now, he does stay out, so not this time by for both these two drivers as they battle for third place. Roy Schroeten's actually managed to get down to 3 seconds, 3 seconds 4 tenths, so both pushing very hard, I'm sure, for that final place on the podium.
Is Philip Cullen the most relaxed man in the world in this very moment?
Well, he must be, because he's got a nice gap ahead of Rouse. He's got a 10-second gap, so Philip must be feeling pretty safe about his third place. All he needs to do is not make a mistake and put it somewhere in Cooper's. Maybe just out of reach now, but yeah, he just doesn't have anything to worry about now. He just needs to concentrate on keeping it on the road for the next few laps, and he's got third place secured, so it's a good job from Philip today. The Cooper does seem to be in the lead with there, and he's just got a fast lap of a 1:41.8. No one's in the lead today, it's just 6 seconds ahead of Philip. I think Phil's done quite a good job to keep the gap at 6 seconds, so Cooper just in another lead today.
And in the meanwhile, Rick Scott is now back again on the Matt clip, and he's very close to putting an attack.
He is, he's at the inside. That'd be a brave place to pass him, but he's got a better run out of the corner. He just wants to try and go up. He's going to be on the outside, so whether he can make this work would be a good move. Break at the same time, I think he's going to try and squeeze Matt out, but he does. He does actually got past him, so good move there from Rick Scott round the outside to take 9th place. So Rick's actually managed to catch up to Matt quite quickly there, so Matt goes quite wide into the bottom of the corner. But Jack Nicholls is only 3 seconds off these two, so Jack could actually be in a possibility for a point. You can see him in his sights now, so Jack Nicholls, the Hawkeye, could possibly ruin the party for that final few points.
And that could actually put Hawkeye back into contention for a 4th place in the standings. You know, with Terence having a very, very torrid evening here in Singapore, Terence Gregg. Obviously, Jason Muscat is the only scoring Malta force at the moment. They still need to look out, because they may not just lose the 3rd place, but even the 4th.
Yeah, that'd be a huge thing for Malta force going into this race of about 4 or 5 points ahead of 4th and ending up 5th. That wouldn't be the ending they wanted after such a good qualifying session. So,
especially we're talking about last year champions.
Yeah, I mean, this year they've had a bit of a torrid time really with drivers not being 100% committed. Jason Muscat having a lot of problems with connections, so that hasn't been the best defending champions, but they still are in 3rd place at the moment, as already 4th I can speak of the current results, but I think they can be proud of what they've done this season. I mean, Torrent Motorsports run a complete league of their own. It wasn't until about round 4 or 5 that Alex Cooper really started to challenge them, so I think they can be safe. I think they've done quite a good job this season.
And Jack Nicholls passed Matt Cliff, so Jack Nicholls is now in the points.
Yeah, but also Matt must have made a mistake somewhere. Just spun going into a corner because he's still quite a few seconds off Rick Scott, so Jack really is pumping some laps into him. 1:43.2 is fast lap compared to Rick Scott 1:45.1, so Jack can definitely sniff a few points today, which would be a very good drive back from the pit lane where he started. So good job from Jack today. Hasn't had the best of seasons, he started off the season very well with a 3rd place in Australia, but the luck hasn't been on his side this season, unfortunately, with real life commitments and just instance on track. It's nice to see Jack doing a good job today. That is actually because of power on track, I believe, at the moment. Jack closing Rick Scott in ever so slowly. Now within a second of him as he comes into lap 18 of 35, I believe. And lap 17 as well.
If my calculations are correct, Jack will need to go back to 7th position to be able to, for Hawkeye to leapfrog Malta Force.
Yep, and he's got, I think, 8th, not the other question, he's only 9 seconds behind Morton, and Jack really is pumping in some quick times. It's about a second. His fastest lap 1.4 quicker than Morton, so if Jack can keep it on the track, he's definitely got a chance to get that. And the team is only 3 seconds up the road from Morton, so definitely possible for Jack to pull it back as he taps the wall there, but no damage done. Now within half a second of Rick's stop. Everything to play for in this currently going to the second half of the race. Matt Clip's come out of the pits. Looks like he is our first scheduled pit stop. Clip carries on there, 141.833 as fast as lap, 7 seconds ahead of Phil Cullen. Taking it easy, I'm sure, just wants to finish the season off strongly. Phil Cullen got a nice 11 second gap over that as well, so Philip Cullen's got absolutely no worries so far. The only thing that can stop him now, maybe an electrical failure or incident on track. But he's got a lot of breathing space, whilst Adam Rouse is only 3.5 seconds for Schroeder. But that gap seems to have stayed static for the last few laps, so maybe not too worried about where Royce is. I mean, not much between their times, so.
I guess the only thing that may really shake up the situation at the moment is the drop-off in performance that most drivers report when changing tyres here in the Supercup. A loss of, quite a few seconds in the first few laps until the tyres really get back into, the best operating window in terms of temperatures, in terms of wear. So that could be potentially disruptive. Say if Adam was only got 3 seconds advantage over Roy, were to find himself behind Roy for quite a few laps and perhaps lose some more time behind him.
Yeah, but you said that Team Toyota came to the pits, and I think he must have changed tyres. He started warming up as soon as he left the pit box, so Team Toyota looks like he's changed tyres, and he had held one of our first pit stops. We get to the halfway stage, Jack is right behind Rick Scott now, which is now a great place as teams come in. Jack made a lot of time up on Rick into that Singapore sling. Rick Scott is struggling with what it seems like with the rear brakes. He's outbraking himself again there, going into the hairpin. Jack's in there alongside him, going into this 90-degree right-hander at the end of this long straight. Jack's got the advantage at the moment. He will brake later. Rick Scott brakes later. He's actually managed to hold place. Very good job there from Rick to hold that place. But Jack's going to try the cutback. This is going to be very important for he managed to sit down here in sector 3. He's got the inside, but he does Rick gives him a lot of space, and Jack does take 8th place.
It went very close to each other.
Yeah, very ballsy move there from Jack, and he's managed to make a stick in and no room at all. So Jack Nichols up to 8th place now, which is a net 9th spot with Team Toyota pitting. So, and Morton Mention's got in the pits now as well. So does Morton change cars? Have a look. He's up, so yeah, it looks like the cars are going on to that GSR machine. Team Toyota coming around the final corner now, so it seems like Morton's still ahead of Timu. I'm not sure who was ahead actually before, so.
Jack Nichols now in 7th place, and I believe this would place them into 4th position in the standings.
He's done an excellent job there. It looks like he's coming in this lap. His pit line is on, as is Rick Scott, so these two may be going to come into this pit stop this time by and try and outdo each other.
Cullen is pitting in the meanwhile.
Cullen's in. That moves Rouse and Schroeder up a few places. Cullen just comes out of the pits now.
And Loknowski is retired.
Pavel's had enough of it today. Bit of a bad day at the office for the young Stoneman. Only with 14 drivers left in the race. Balance Cooper now 18 seconds. Allocated looks like it's coming in this lap as well. His pit light is on. Yeah, Morton Wellington's actually overtaken Team Toyota in the pit phase. Whilst Morton left maybe cold tyres for a little bit, but good job by Morton to get ahead of Team there in the pit phase.
Both Nichols and Rick Scott are indeed pitting at the moment, as you predicted.
And they come in the pit box ahead of Rick. Obviously will be getting away quite a bit sooner. But Morton's actually coming out of the pits now, and he'll be overtaking those two Coopers in the pits as well. So Cooper comes in. I've just jacked actually got quite close to Morton, much closer than I thought he would be. Team is actually right on the back of Morton Rennerson now, so could Team Toyota be making a move up to 8th place anytime soon? But the hopes it's not too far behind either, so we can have a nice 5-car, 4-car scrap here for what's going to be 8th place very soon. Terence Burke hasn't made a stop yet, he's in 7th place.
And now let me throw a kind of provocative question at you. Adam Rouse now leading the race, still going relatively strong. Considering his unusual lack of pace in the first section of the race, could we be looking at the driver not going to stop at all?
I'm going to say it would be really ballsy as Roy Schroten slides his way through that corner there, but Adam Rouse yet leading the race. He's actually he's lost a bit of time to Roy Schroten in the last few laps, but they've both got a nice spot. Roy's got 6 seconds on Alex, whilst Adam's got 10, so, or 9, sorry. So, I mean, it's not out of question. I think it would be a ballsy move, but maybe it could be a clever one for Adam. I mean, Adam's got nothing to lose. He's the one fighting Phillips, so he's got the one who's got to try the odd strategy out, as you say, and really go for it. I've seen Roy's pit light come on, so I'm not sure if Roy will be zero stopping, but he is closing the gap to Adam, and they've got quite a, I mean, their gap's increasing over Alex, so I mean, it's not out of question, but it would be a very brave move in my opinion.
Well, something they may have decided to opt to after seeing the results of qualifying, with Philip Cullen apparently having more pace on the single lap. He might have decided, and that could have explained his sort of sluggish start and the sort of lack of pace in the first half of the race.
Yeah, I mean, we were touting earlier on maybe what strategy people were playing out. Adam Rouse just sets his fast lap of the race so far, 1:42.61, but his pit light has just come on, so maybe he is coming on this lap. 1:42.3 from Roy. He's actually, it looks like there's an accident up ahead for the battle for 8. Terence Gregg, oh no, sorry, Ryan Walker's pit light is also on. Morton Rennerson, Team Toyota, I don't see any instance out. I think Jack Nichols and Rick Scott there collided. Yeah, Walker's lost a lot of time to team actually, so those three seem to have had an instance somewhere along the way. It seems like go ahead.
Oh no, just wanted to tell you we've received a tweet from last year winner of this race, Lewis Redshaw, saying like, nice seeing Timu driving around the track and not lagging through walls.
Yeah, Rocky Hoster's actually just stopped on track, so it's Rick Scott. Oh, Rocky Hoster's tired. What happened to Rocky? That's a bit of a weird incident there. Rocky Hoster just stopped on the edge of the chicane and just stopped his car. He was tired, which is very well. Jack Rick Scott stopped as well to get out of the way.
It looks a bit like a connection problem for Hoekstra, as he's also like left the game right away at the very moment. So it could be something beyond actual racing problems for the Dutch driver.
That's very odd. Rick Scott also stopped. I thought he was letting him pass to let the lappers go past, but very odd there. Huge change in vision.
And Adam Rouse is pitting now, so the non-stopper strategy, and Roy Schroten as well, is out of the way.
Very odd, I didn't think those two would come in so late. But I suppose maybe that might have made some time off from Cullen, so we'll just have to wait and see now.
Cullen is past the finish straight now, and obviously Adam will have fresher tyres for the last 12 laps to go, so there could be the moment for the Englishman to throw.
Muscat's overtaken him. Muscat's overtaken Schroten. Brilliant there. Maybe chasing from the zero stopper. So that's really shaking the field up. Jason Muscat in 4th now. Maybe he's on a zero stopper. Although if Rouse has changed tyres, that will affect his performance quite badly, so we'll have to wait and see. But I don't think he has. He's not losing too much time to Phil Collins.
And Muscat spun! Muscat just spun!
Ah, Muscat. That's a huge shame for him, making it up to 4th place and then just maybe the pressure got to him. Shame for the Maltese driver there, and what was 4th, now 5th. But look who's in 6th, his teammate Terence Gregg. Team has also dropped off the back of Morton Venison now, so he's going to have to push quite hard to get him.
Greg, I believe, is yet to stop.
I think Multiforce might be zero stopping this. It's not the driver's actually pitted yet.
And they actually may play really well into the hands in terms of the fight for 3rd place in the championships. What seemed like almost like a lost cause for the Maltese team may actually turn out to be a pretty successful night.
Yeah, hopefully for these two, as Phil Collins has been a bit held up by Matt Cook there, but he could use a slipstream. 6.5 seconds off Cooper, so Cooper just needs to keep it steady and he's got this wrapped up. Adam Rouse now 8.5 seconds behind Collins. I think he has made a tiny bit of time up, but not as much as maybe he would have hoped that strategy would. And Roy Schroeter seemed to have actually not changed the tyres, sorry, because he has lost a lot of time for Rouse in that 2 stop days. And Jason Buscott's only 2 seconds behind him, he's marking that spin, so maybe the battle for 4th could be hotting up quite soon. So we've only got 13 runs left in this race now. We should only bring probably more people retire without finishing scoring a point. So Jack Nichols got there and Tech did a great job. I mean, Terence Gregg comes to 6th place after that start. I mean, what an excellent job for him. Could help Multiforce retain 3rd in the standings rather than dropping our tickets that we were thinking that could happen a couple of laps ago. I think that Pavel lost the so we thought he had to take 5th today, but just we were random sat, he said, so same huge thing for Pavel to not be able to finish the race today. He's claimed it to the swag overload, but I don't think that's quite right. But yeah, that's the only Woods car out of the race today, so it's a huge shame for Woods and what should be their final race of the Supercup thanks to the new rules that are coming in next season. Obviously, we would know a few more details on that, but I'll already revealed on the 25th of November.
Well, yeah, but however, some of the rules for teams have already been disclosed to the public. Obviously, teams will only be allowed to have one team in the ladder, that is the career ladder from the Formula Challenge through the Supercup onto the Super League. So that means a lot of the existing Super League team will need to consolidate their operations. If they had previously a Super Cup team, means the likes of Hawkeye and Green Stripes and Woods Colonel will need to lose the Super Cup team. I don't think any of them will actually forgo the Super League in order to keep racing in the Super Cup, although that is yet to be confirmed. But yeah, this will allow, considering the numbers we're now looking at, this will allow new teams to come up in the Super Cup and hopefully continue the great level of commitment and racing that we've seen in this season.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a great season so far, starting from the Carl Helson's win in Australia all the way through to Singapore here with Alex Cooper looking like he's going to take victory number that must be 8 now this season. I mean, Alex Cooper, we'll just have to talk about him a bit. I don't think he started the season as well as he hoped to, but he really did come on strong during the latter half of the season. He won, what, 6 or 7 races in a row, so Alex Cooper's done a very good job. Just maybe a slow start cost him a chance to win the title. I mean, that's the last time out Suzuki spelling that did cost him a chance to maybe take it to the final race. But Alex Cooper's done a very good job for CSG this season, so hats off to him.
He's absolutely, he was one of the revelations. I mean, we've seen Petracosa and we knew about Torren being hugely performing teams before they came into the Supercup. They started the season in the Formula Challenge and then got promoted in the Supercup still before the first race, but at the very last moment. But we knew about them. I think for me the great surprise of this year has been, you know, Alex Cooper, seeing how, you know, fast and, you know, performing he was. It's a shame that he wasn't able to express his talent from the very beginning, because it would have had an even closer race for the title. But I'm sure that next season, whichever competition he's going to be in, whether it's the Super Cup again with CSG, or whether he gets promoted to a race, say to Midnight, we'll see some very good performances from the English driver.
Yeah, there's a talent to hold for the future, but as we speak, we've got a battle for 7th place between Ryan Walker and Morton Venison potting up. I mean, Morton Venison had a chance going into the chicane, but he got a bit twitchy on the brakes and he didn't quite make it stick, but that is now only 6th between them, and Team Itoika is only 3 seconds off them, so Team Itoika could be in a position to challenge for 7th place here if these two hold each other up anymore.
Now, I've done some calculations now with Jason Muscat and Terence Craig being in 5th and 6th. If things were to stay like this, we would have Halcyon and Multiforce on the same points for 3rd in the championships. But obviously, with Ryan Walker under attack from Morton Venison, Venison could be Multiforce's best friend right now.
Yeah, but Ryan Walker does seem to have lost a lot of time in the last few laps. He was about 4 or 5 seconds ahead, but he seems to have lost a lot of time. And Morton Venison's all over the back side of that Halcyon car. So we could be seeing not just a change in position on track, but a change in position on the standings with Multiforce doing such a good job in that 0 stop and making it work very well. Morton Venison, I don't think he's scored a point this season actually yet, so brilliant racing him. Oh yeah, he scored 15, so that's my prediction now out of the window. The team Talk hasn't scored a point this season, so even though he's doing an excellent job there in ninth, actually, team who's kept out of the walls, not lagging. So brilliant job from the young Finnish driver to be in the points today and beating a few established names.
Looking back to the fight, distance fight we can say between Philip Cullen and Adam Rouse. In the last 2 or 3 laps, Rouse has been constantly slower than his rivals, so whatever his strategy was, stopping for the only stop slightly later than the Irishman, that didn't pay off for Rouse, so at the moment his gap from P2 is increasing. So
yeah, well, just noticed that sorry to interrupt, I've just noticed that Philip Cullen's pit light is actually on. So whether he has to pit again, maybe he's made a fuel miscalculation or the tyre is going on too quickly, or he's just turned it off actually. So whether Cullen has maybe got another stop to make, we've only got 7 laps to go, so I don't think he will make another stop, but possibilities there for him to maybe be coming in.
Oh, that would be absolutely disastrous for Cullen. He's just got barely over 10 seconds over Rouse, so definitely not enough to throw in another stop.
Yeah, as Morton Venison now within 3 tenths of Ryan Walker. Team Itoika is catching up as well, he's only 2 seconds behind. The team who really could be on the back of Ether in only a few laps time, so Morton going into the right hand of Ryan seems to have taken it a little bit better there, but Morton's got a good exit, but not good enough to latch onto the back of Ryan, so not this time round it seems, unless he gets an epic slipstream with a don't think he's not going to have enough. No, he's just too far back to make it work there.
I think he took the right decision, played safe for a lap, get a bit closer to Walker in next lap, the very turn, maybe close enough to put his decisive attack. He's seen that Ryan Walker isn't going anywhere. I mean, he's constantly losing gap, and Venetian has got everything in his car to be able to overtake him without the need to take excessive risks. So I think he's done the right choice. Wait an extra lap and pull out the pass in a safe manner.
Yeah, Venetian seems to be very confident with the car. Ryan may be a bit twitchy, or Venetian gets a bit of twitch on there, but yeah, Ryan seems to be a bit less comfortable in the car, and maybe the tyres are going a bit too quickly for his liking, but Venison really has got that car. Oh, as a save! Oh. Brilliant save from Venison there, coming into the third corner under the grandstand there. But, oh, just as I say that, just as I was about to say, he's got an excellent car hooked up behind him. Loses that.
You were mentioning about like the confidence that Venison had throughout the lap, and obviously that costed him in terms of his gap from Ryan Walker. Nothing decisive yet, but obviously I don't see him attacking during this lap yet.
Yeah, looks like he's definitely too far back. Jimmy Torres dropped a couple of seconds off, but that is because he let Alex Cooper pass. So maybe Walton could use the Alex Cooper to try and get past Ryan here. I mean, we've seen in the past people use lappers to get past people they are racing. So maybe that could be a factor to come in the next couple of laps, as Alex is now only about a second behind. He's just come up to the rear of Morton Benson now.
And while you were discussing that, something really curious happened. Rick Scott spun just before the bridge, just before the tunnel, and Jack Nichols was the man right behind him and could have gained advantage. Spun exactly in the same place, and then spun again, and now he's in the pits, supposedly changing tyres.
I think he went out of fuel actually. As he went out of fuel, he's missed his pit box. They're not working. Come on, there we are. So, huge shame for Jack Nichols there. He's now in 12th place. He may just be out of his reach today. Huge shame for the Englishman. He's doing a great job of fighting back. It's just maybe asked too much. But Rick Scott's questions are giving the team a 26-second gap over Matt Clip. The team is definitely on for 9th place today. And Matt Clip on the 10th. He's only 5 seconds ahead of Rick, so maybe not out of the picture yet. But Alex Cooper now coming to lap Morton Venison, who's just gone past. And now he's going to have to lap Ryan Walker. But Walker's actually staying with him. I think he's done quite a good job. He's done a clever thing. Sticking behind Alex, then using his slipstream down the long straight to get a bit closer to Ryan. So it's close. Oh, Ryan's letting past there. That's a very silly race to let past. But Walter Venison uses the lap car brilliantly there. Alex Cooper and Ryan Walker's lost the place there. A bit of a silly move, in my opinion, to let him past there. I'd have let him run it down straight, but Walter Venison's taken it out of both hands. Says, thank you very much. I will have that. 7th place is his. And that actually puts Halcyon down to 4th place in the standings.
And that could be a mistake with so many consequences for both the team and the driver. Obviously, very unusual place to give a position. Obviously, letting the leader through, but when you're in a fight, you need to find the right spot. So. Not just to maximize your advantage, but at least not to lose any time, and that could prove really costly for Walker.
Yeah, it could, and now Walter Moulton just running away with it. Team Torque is now catching him up, so maybe even his 8th place is under risk here. We've only got 4 laps to go, but Ryan, look at him, he's going very wide in some of these corners. He just doesn't seem to have the confidence in the car he had earlier. 4 laps to go in this race.
And Terence Crack in 6th is, safely ahead. Is now already starting a new lap. So I don't think Venetian has got enough laps to reach the Maltese drivers. So I think positions in this sector of the standings are kind of set for the moment.
Yeah, but looks like the only battle we're going to have possibly is between Walker and Toykers. Reynolds has already got a 1.5 second gap over Walker now, so been a bit of a static race really. After the early start where there were quite a few cars battling, it seems to have settled down a lot. Roy Schroeten's, it's only 3 seconds behind Rouse, but it's been about that gap all race. He's not really made any inroads, whilst Cullen's 11 seconds ahead of Rouse, and Cullen's got the secured. The third place that is. Cullen actually coming up to Toyka and Walker now, so maybe Toyka can take a leaf out of Ellison's book and maybe take advantage of Philip coming through the field.
Surely one thing I know for certain is that Philip will be extremely careful in lapping these drivers. He's got no interest in chasing Alex. He just wants to see off this last 3 laps in the safest manner and get third in the standings and a podium.
Podium, great job from both Cullen and we must admit Rouse has done a great job today to get a third place. I mean, we were saying earlier maybe Schroeten had the advantage, but Rouse has done a brilliant job today to get a third place. Hats off to him.
Well, you were saying, I mean, not just tonight. I think all of these drivers need hats off to them. Phil Cullen, Adam Rouse, and obviously we've spoken at length of Alex Cooper and also of Roy before. They've had a really good season. We've seen some excellent driving from all of them. We've seen clean battles. We've seen overtaking maneuvers. We've had a great deal of fun with them. And you know, personally, hats off to them. And whoever finished in front really deserved it. I mean, you can say that it's a sort of like divine justice for Philip to finish in front, consider the heartache that he had to suffer in Italy when he was leading and he crashed out of the race. So in a sense, finishing in third in the standings, so his way to get something back from the season. But at the same time, you have to feel for Adam because he's put in some really good races this year, and it would have been an equally deserving third in the standings had things gone his way.
Yeah, when both the drivers very talented, both Super League veterans, so they've both done very well this season. But as we say, Tilly Toyka now on the back of Ryan Walker seems he's gained a lot from Philip Cullen over lapping them, and right behind the Hellstrom driver now, less than 5 tenths. Ryan Walker's gone wide, and Tilly Toyka's going to try and make it stick, but he can't quite do it. Ryan's got the better traction as Tilly just tried to avoid Ryan rather than them taking it, I think. But Tilly really has got the chance to do this in the last 2 laps of this race. Going into the grandstand now. There's no place to overtake here unless Ryan makes a huge mistake, so he's just got to try and stick behind him. Try and get this 8th place sorted for PB Racing. It's been their first point of the season, so as their manager, I'll be quite relieved to get some points, and it's safe to say. I really didn't want them, the team is the only team with the only 0 point. These are 2 blows revenge in there, I thought. It scared the hell out of me, but okay. Yeah, Ryan's. Oh, teamy! Oh! Held it well there, but it's going to cost him the chance to make a move going into the corner here. So Alex Cooper's actually on his final lap, I think, so with Alex Cooper on the final lap of the race, so maybe Team Toyka's lost his only chance to win that battle for 8th place there. So Alex Cooper coming the last half of the lap now, with literally a few seconds away from finishing the 2012 season for the Supercup. So Alex Cooper's done a brilliant job today. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 1:41.833. He is currently 8.5 seconds off Philip Cullen. He hasn't put a single foot wrong today. Blown away the competition, I think it's safe to say. From lap 1 qualifying all the way through to the final lap here in the race. This is coming through sector 3 now. Onto the grandstand we go with the English driver. Just come up for lap 10 record. There's a front wing there. Is that Roy Schroeten's front wing synergetic? It looked like it was. Terry's going to let Alex Cooper pass. Alex Cooper coming around the final 2 corners. And Alex Cooper is the final winner of the Super Cup this season, 2012. Brilliant win for him today. Philip Cullen secured third place in the standings with a brilliant drive for second place today. 1:42.01, a way to end the season for Phil Cullen. Adam Ralston around the corner now to finish off. Well, it was a good drive from Adam, not quite enough to still third in the standings, but third on the track. I'm sure he will be very happy with that. Roy Schroeder finishing the race about a front wing, but he is just coming around the final two corners now. What a brilliant drive from the young Dutchman all season, not just today. Brilliant job. He secures 5th place in the standings. Roy Schroeder just taps the wall there. It goes into 4th place. Good drive from the young Dutchman. Jason Muscat is the final finisher for today. Everyone else has actually crossed the line, I believe. Terence Gregg's already finished in 6th place, so Jason Muscat comes 5th for Malta Force. What a brilliant job for them to secure 3rd place in the drivers. What an excellent job from those who drive today, looking at zero-stop strategy work. Back fifth will be the final finish of Ryan Walker, just kept ahead of Team Total for 8th place, whilst Malta Motors in 7th place. Good job from him today. Rick Scott takes the final point position, so well done to Rick. Jack Nichols was in 12th now. Martin Golden was the final finisher today in 13th, but 3 laps down. Matt Cliff comes down the final corner. And the 2012 Super Cup season is officially over.
Well, what a ride we had! It was a stunning season. Congratulations to all the drivers. We've seen in many races, the standard of driving that's worth all the Super League, and I think we've been blessed with some amazing races. So absolutely congratulations to everyone who contributed to making the season so successful.
Yeah, I mean, thanks to everyone from you, admins, yourself, Will, Dave Carl Smith done a lot of work this season. The disciplinary committee, all the drivers taking part. It's been a wonderful season for everyone this season. I mean, congrats to Alex Cooper for today. Congrats to Petter Kassar and Torrent Motorsports for their respective championships. It's just been a brilliant season. 6 different winners. What an excellent season. I think one that will go down in memory.
Absolutely, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing that Super Cup is growing so much. As I was saying before, the racing standards we're seeing definitely worthy of the Super League, and it's a great spectacle. We're able to, as GPVWC, we're able to rely on 2 different series of such a great quality. So absolutely great job.
Yeah, brilliant job from everyone here, and I think we do have a couple of people coming up for the interviews. I think Phil Cullen's coming in very shortly. So I think it's been a very long season. I think a few people will be glad to finish. I think a few people want to keep going. I mean, I think we've had 34 people score a point. Every single team has scored a point in the championship, so that just shows how competitive it was this season. 6 different winners, 4 different constructors winning. Well, I don't think this season could have gone any better, really.
Let's see now, perhaps if we can get a few interviewees from...
Yeah, we've got a couple here. We've got Timi Toika in the interview room, and Philip Cullen, if we just drag these 2 in.
User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel. User was moved to your channel.
Person staying final, 3rd place in standing. We've got our winner today, Alex Cooper, and Timi Toika, who finished in 9th place for PD. So I think we'll go to Alex first. Alex, another win for the season. Great way to round off this season. How did it go?
I was cruising most of the way. It's pretty easy to hit the walls here, so I cruised for the first stint, and I saw that Phil upped his pace, and then I pushed for a bit, and then after the pits, cruised again to the flag.
Yeah, the seemed to have a bit of an easy ride out there. Got pole by what was about half a second, 1:40.6. So, were you really scared at any point that Phil could catch up, or did you think you've got this under control really from the first corner, really.
It's never under control. I think when he set the fastest lap, about lap 10, I thought he might be a catch, and then I started pushing a bit, and the gap was pretty much the same all the way through, so held it.
That was your 8th victory of the season. Obviously, you had that brilliant run of 5 in a row mid-season. Do you think this season could have gone any better for you? Obviously, you just missed out on the title to Peter Kassar, but do you think this season was a good indication of what you can maybe produce? Obviously, with your win in Super League last time round, do you think maybe you're ready for the step up?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Pretty crap with the tyres on the Super League car, but it was just the start of the season that hurt me really. This season, Abu Dhabi, in Australia I crashed as well. In Canada it was pretty bad, so I don't know if I'd have got better. It'd have been closer though, for sure.
Yep, so obviously CSG round up 2nd place in the standings. Do you think Torrent were ever going to be catchable, or do you think that 2nd place was really just the main you could go for?
Yeah, I think it was 2nd all the way. We want scoring points with both cars. So I don't think we ever aimed for constructors. Is 2nd really.
User was moved to your channel.
Okay, so that's Alex Cooper, our waiting of today. We've also got Philip Cullen, who came 2nd today. Phil, you've also managed to win the race for 3rd place in the standings, so how do you feel after that?
About bloody time. I suppose this is something that should have been locked up many months ago before I went through a pretty horrible run of form, so it was relieving to get the job done finally here, and it's a pretty difficult day out there. Just to echo what Alex was saying, you know, you got to drive fast, but you also got to drive within your limits to not hit those walls, and that in itself is a challenge.
So obviously you kept Adam Wall, got 2nd place. At one point we did think Adam Rouse and Roy Schroeter were on 0 stoppers, but they did come in. Were you at any point worried that Adam was on a 0 stopper? Because he did pit quite a few laps later.
It began to cross my mind a couple of laps afterwards, but myself and Adam have worked side by side basically the whole season, and now I will admit, I think when we both came here to Singapore, we were both hiding an ace up our sleeves that we didn't really want, given obviously we're fighting it out there for 3rd. We weren't willing to, I suppose, show all of our cards out, and there was a moment I was beginning to think, okay, what if he's going to do that? But we've never really seen a 0 stop as much of an option throughout the season, at least with our pace anyway. So, but it was still, yeah, a little bit of a relief when both he and Roy did come in.
Yep, so you got the 3rd place secured. Also, Halcyon, I think, just missed out on 3rd place in the standings. So, is that a huge shame? Because I think, obviously, the Multiforce managing the 0 stop today very well. Do you think maybe you could have gained 3rd, or do you think maybe 4th was just possible today?
It was always going to be an uphill battle, and when you look at Multiforce, they ran with basically the same drivers throughout the season. They had Jason, they had Marek, and they had Terence, so there was a lot of consistency. You look at the 2nd car for us, it was a carousel. You know, we've had Sam Miller in the car, we've had Ryan in the car, we've had Bart DeVos in the car, we've also had James Shepherd in the car. So I haven't had a consistent teammate throughout the season. So, I think most of the points have been scored by me. So, okay, I think in hindsight, it would have been great to have a consistent teammate. I think one of the regrets down the line with myself and Adam was we should have gone together. At that point, it was just, I suppose, too late by the time we got accepted to the move up the Supercup that he'd already signed for Hawkeye, because the two of us together would have been well third. But take nothing away from Multiforce. I mean, that's what teamwork is about, and consistency and narrowing the results. So, well done to them, and Force no shame, especially when you look at the competition out there.
Yeah, but we were saying earlier, this season's been a brilliant for talent, coming through, and of the existing talent. And one of the people we were talking about earlier in the race was Roy Schroeter, who came 4th today. Roy, was the 0 stopper ever on your mind, or did you just think 1 stopper was going to be the limit today?
I had tested the medium tires, and I thought they were too slow, so I went for 1 stopper.
Yeah, at one point, like I said, we thought 0 stopper Roy maybe even could win the race, but obviously he didn't quite have the pace today for 3rd. Do you think 4th was the maximum you could get, or do you think 3rd was just on the horizon?
Yeah, I tried to get on the podium, but in the beginning of the race, I didn't feel the car as much as I did in the other session, so I was a bit slower there. and I lost some time there. Throughout the race, I was a bit faster than Adam, but I couldn't really catch up with him. And then in the end, I could catch up with him, but then Jack went in front of me. He gave me a little late blue flag, but that wasn't really a problem. But it surprised me, and I spun and lost my front wing. But luckily, it was in the last lap, so I could finish in fourth to take the 5th place in front of Terrence in standings.
Yeah, that was we were saying earlier how you've had quite a roller coaster season. Obviously, last season wasn't the best. I think even you yourself would admit that. But you've really become a force this season. Obviously, earlier on in the season, leading laps at China. I don't think anyone expected it. So, do you think this season's gone well for you?
Yeah, I really like the league, and I hope that I can be as quick as I am this year in the next year in the Supercup. I hope I can fight for the win there, and because in the beginning of this league I had some problems, a few crashes in the first race, and after that some problems with the setup, but now I really find it a good pace and I like the mod and the cars, but I don't think Synergetic will be next year because I haven't heard anything from Mal, so I have to look for a new team, but I will be back in 2013.
That's great news. I'm sure with your performances, not just today, but throughout the season, you will be hot property throughout the season. And the final person we've got today is Timu Toigo, who finished 9th. As the manager, thank you God you scored points today. How was it out there today, Timu?
It was brilliant. I just started practicing 2 hours before the race because I had a pretty rushed week. And I just took some setup and went for it, and here it is.
Towards the end of the race, we saw you racing Ryan Walker. Do you think it was possible to get him, or do you think he just had enough pace to hold you off?
I think we were a bit evenly paced, but he made less mistakes, so
yeah,
he deserved the 8th.
Yeah, they saw you spin a couple of times, and it maybe cost you 7th. But do you think today was a fair representation of where you could have finished today, or do you think maybe 7th was possible?
7th would have been possible, but yeah, without those spins, it would have been possible.
But yet you scored the first points of the season at the very, very death. It must be a relief for you to score points after such a testing season, especially with your connection, you dropping out earlier in the season to not race. Was it justice maybe for having such a rubbish connection at the start of the season?
Yes.
Okay then, so I think we'll end it on that. William and Will, have you got any questions to ask these few people?
Just one question for Philip. Obviously, we've covered Alex's future in at great length throughout the broadcast, but I just wanted to ask Philip. Obviously, the performances he had this year really put you in the spotlight. And is there a future for you, perhaps in the Super League, that you can tell us?
Who knows? You never know what's around the corner. Life's pretty short. I mean, I think what I've done with Adam is we've talked about it, and we're looking at least to stay together and to run together as Halcyon next year is our plan. So to try and build on the foundations that we've done. We're in the long haul for this team, and we've both spent time trying to build our own teams maybe and failed along the way. And I suppose third time's the charm, I think, between myself and Adam in terms of collaboration. So to work together on something next year is the ideal objective, but sure, we'll see how it goes. Silly season really does kick in now, so I'll have to see what comes into my inbox.
Well, that's all for me, Tom. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Alex and Timu, for coming in, and obviously also thanks to Dave for the great job at the cameras and everybody else who's contributed to the broadcast throughout the season.
Yes, I think we will finish the 2012 Supercup season now. Thank you to William Panisi for being my co-commentator today. Thank you to Dave Carl-Smith for the cameras today. Obviously, thank you to both of you as well for the league work you've been putting in this season. I think it's all appreciated. Thank you to all the drivers, all the team managers for producing what was an excellent season of racing starting in March, and we're now here in November almost, and we've ended it. So I think that is it. We will see you all in 2013. Tomorrow is the final round of the Super League. We've got a few battles there as well, so tune in tomorrow from about 7:45 and you will see the last race of the GPVWC Super League series. So I've been Tom Parker. Thank you very much. Goodbye.